Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to school. We are halfway. Can you believe it? We're at week 3 of 6 weeks. Just like that, we're at halfway. You know what I was singing? I think that comes from some pirate movie I saw as a kid. It was like, hi ho, hi ho. Or is it Peter Pan? I'm not sure. But in any case, welcome back to another week, Module 3. And you know what? We're going to kick off this week with a punny joke. So hold on to your hats. Let's board this train of laughter. So check it out. Let's see what we got this week. We start off with this punny joke. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. Look at these noodles. They look so goofy. Oh, man. Punny, punny, punny. Hope this video finds you in good spirits. Hope you're doing all right. So, let's get into it. I keep moving this because I'm finding the right spot. Well, I think this is good here. All right. First off, of course, we start with our syllabus. Like I mentioned, this is flying by. We're already halfway into our winter intersession. You know, it's always like this. Just always flies. And that's why I'm proud of you, my special winter students, because this really flies. And it's like one of those things where, you know, I throw a ball at you and you got to hit it. And then there's another ball. And there's just a lot that happens that is condensed in 6 weeks, because that's part of the nature of the intersession, really. So check out what we have for this week, for this module. Of course, we have the final draft for our first paper, which is Entertainment as Political, and that's going to be due next Sunday, the 24th, huh? So at the end of this module, Sunday the 24th, that's going to be due by 11:59 p.m., of course. And look, speaking of condensing things into a spot, we're having, oh my goodness, that is a loud car. You know, sometimes there's cars like racing on the road right outside of my room. I'm not sure what's up with that. But anyways, let's resume. So in addition to, of course, having the final draft due, this week we're having our first peer review workshop. Now, in the other video, I'm going to talk about the logistics of how that's going to work. But the thing that I really want to drive home, my friends, is that, so you look at writers, you read this beautiful, beautiful chapter in a book, or you read this beautiful, beautiful article, and you know, you might be tempted to think, oh man, did this person just throw it onto the page like magic? Like, did it just happen like magically because this is a wonderful writer? Well, no, my friends. The thing is that writing is a process. Writing is recursive. Writing is ongoing. And, you know, we go through different stages where we do outlining and brainstorming and we do drafts. And then, of course, an important part of the writing process when we have these drafts, when we have these rough drafts, is the workshop process, which is, it's a place for you as writers to speak with other writers about your writing. So you bounce back ideas, because a lot of times what we intended to come across as a writer, sometimes it's not perceived that way by the reader, because maybe awkward phrasing or perhaps just, you know, like bad organization or something. So that's the whole point here of the workshops, and it's our first one. It's going to be one of two, because we're also doing it for our research paper. Here's the other thing that I wanted to drive home. Okay, are you listening? Wake up. There is no such thing as a perfect draft. I'll say it again. There's no such thing as a perfect draft. As crass as it sounds, you really just have to vomit out your ideas. Just get it out, no matter how disjointed it all is, how all over the place, how far from perfect. Because remember, there is no such thing as a perfect first draft. The tightening it up, that comes as a result of the proofreading, the editing, you know, that comes with the whole drafting process, and that's what we do here. So honestly, with this draft, guys, just get out your ideas, just vomit it onto the page, even if it's just disjointed and all over the place. So as you're going to see me explain in the other video where I talk about the logistics of how our peer workshop is going to actually work, I'm going to ask you to have at least 2 pages of your rough draft. And you know, a draft, you know, it's not just an outline. A draft is you actually going out and doing your best to start your essay. Yeah, so just write it out. So at least 2 pages of that. And these are going to be our deadlines for our particular class. So your rough draft is going to be due by Wednesday, this Wednesday, the 20th, by 11:59 p.m. And as I'm going to explain in the other video, the Canvas system actually assigns you your 3 drafts 1 minute after this deadline. So it's going to send it to you Thursday, 21st of January at 12 a.m. That's when the Canvas system will automatically distribute your 3 drafts to you. And you know what? I'm actually going to include an announcement here on our Canvas page where it will explain how you as a student can access the drafts that the Canvas system has distributed to you. And when is that going to be? If you said Thursday, the 21st of January at 12 a.m., that's right, okay? And I'm going to ask that you have your feedback done for our particular class for this workshop by Friday, the 22nd, by 11:59 p.m. That is important because, you know, since everything's flying here in our winter session and the final draft for this entertainment as political paper will be due by Sunday, then of course it makes sense that you need to have all of your feedback done for the peer review workshop so that you guys can actually have time to read your comments, to read your feedbacks, and based on that, really tighten up your draft so that you can turn in your final draft by Sunday, okay? So these are our particular dates. Be mindful of that. The calendar is our best friend, and like I keep emphasizing time and time again, you need a mission control. For me, it's a wall calendar, and that is the place where I take all the deadlines and I write it in. So whether if it's an agenda for you or a wall calendar, just like what I use, or it's an app, you need a place where you write down all your deadlines so that you can look ahead into the future and intentionally put your efforts towards the closest deadline, okay? All right. So let's actually go into our Canvas. We have here module 3. Here's where we house our videos are housed. So if you're watching this, you'll find this video in there. The next thing, guys, is a little bit of a practice of it's a further application, it's a further practice of this textual analysis that we learned here in the last module and what our whole paper is based on, our first essay is based on. So here's going to be your task. Okay, number 1, get yourself a sheet of paper, okay? Get a pen or pencil, and you are going to watch this video. This is The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss, and literally just take notes of what you see, whether that is, hey, you know, you see some interesting use of colors, or maybe you see some symbols inside of it. Just like, what are you seeing? Also, it could be, you know, because sometimes they're singing, so what are some of the interesting lyrics that you hear that really catch your attention? Or even what I like to call a golden quote. A golden quote is like a big aha, or like a big whoa, what's that? Like it just draws your attention to it for some reason. So whether that is within the dialogue or within something that you hear in a song, or, you know, what's happening in the plot that is interesting to you, like it could be anything. Just jot down things that you notice as you're watching this, okay? And if you will recall from our textual analysis lesson, this is just surface level meanings, which is, what is it? Denotation, ding, 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 denotation. So that's the denotation as you're taking the notes. Now, after you've written this down and you watch this, you are, because the whole task here is that you're crafting a thesis, right? Remember we did our section on the thesis statements. Now you're crafting a thesis based on this cartoon, because this is what you're doing for your paper anyway. Though, you know, you can choose your own cultural artifact. And I want to say something. Let's say you like the work that you end up doing for this cartoon, for the Sneetches. Yes, absolutely, you can write your paper on this cartoon, on the Sneetches. Absolutely, absolutely, so that you can continue forward what it is that you started here with with this thesis and with your notes. Absolutely. Even if you don't do it on this is exactly how you're going to be writing your paper anyway. Like, you're going to be taking notes, and then after that you're going to, just like what we did with our textual analysis lecture, where you consider the connotation of the denotation, right? Then do the same thing with your notes so that you can arrive at a thesis. So I have this chart here. It's a really cool one. So go ahead and click this chart. And this, my friends, will help you to move from denotation to connotation, which is exactly what we do with textual analysis. You know, we don't just stay at the surface, but we move from surface level meaning to deeper level meaning. And you know, with that, we consider things like, you know, so what is at stake, who is affected, meaning of symbols, meanings of characters, what do they represent, indirect suggestions. That's a big one. Like, what what is being hinted at, right? What is being suggested, right? Exactly what it sounds. Why does this matter? What is the takeaway of this text? So what? And so the implications, right? The significance of it. Why is it an important message? So take a look at this chart here to help you move from denotation and connotation. And you can also revisit the textual analysis chart that you turned in for the last module where you actually did this. So there's that. All right. All right. So remember, our thesis should be grounded upon connotation, right? So because of that, we want to move into deeper level meaning, where we're considering things like indirect suggestions. We're considering things like social cultural overtones. We're considering things like the implications. You know, like, once you've unearthed, say, like a larger message, then talk about why that's important. Because that's the thing. Writers, they create for a reason. Like, there was a reason that Dr. Seuss created this story, the Sneetches, which is a really impactful one. What do you think was his whole point? Like, what was the whole reason for creating this? What message did he want to get across, right? So this is a little sample thesis. I did it on the Lorax, mind you, because I didn't want to give away everything of the Sneetches. But take a look at this one. I don't know if you're familiar with the Lorax, but that's another cool Dr. Seuss one. In this story entitled The Lorax, hey, it's italicized, remember, it's a container. So in this story entitled The Lorax by Dr. Seuss, the writer forwards a perspective of eco-criticism. Through this view, the ideal of industry is vilified by way of the antagonist, who is known as the Onceler. Conversely, the ideal of nature conservation is celebrated, as embodied by the story's protagonist, known as the Lorax. With our current state of climate change, this message for the importance of nature conservation is just as significant today as it was back in 1971 when Dr. Seuss wrote this story. So with this task, guys, you're just writing a thesis, right? And then remember to also reply to at least one classmate's post here. Now, I actually want to show you something that is going to help you a ton when you're creating this thesis statement. And I actually want to move ahead to our workshop, and because that's going to have the workshop questions of things to consider. And here within the peer review workshop, this is what's going to help you right here. When we're talking about the thesis, okay, look at this part as you're creating this thesis for the Sneetches, right? A good potential model to build a thesis for this paper is as follows. So here's a really good working model. It works very well. So what is the larger message or theme of your artifact? Remember, like, what's the whole takeaway that Dr. Seuss wants us to leave with here, right? How does your artifact reflect this, right? So here's the larger message of the Sneetches, and now make it clear not only that the Sneetches reflects this, but how does it do it? Does it do it through the characters? Does it do it through the plot points? Does it do it through how the conflict is resolved? Does it do it through the colors and symbols? Does it do it through some of the lyrics that we see? Does it do it through connections that it makes with our real life culture and society? Okay, so it's not enough to just say that the artifact does reflect this larger message, but you need to say how. Okay, that's important. And then of course, after you've talked about that, to address the implications, which is the so what, which is its larger significance of this larger message or theme. So why is it important, at the end of the day? Why is this so significant? Why does it matter? Are there any connections to real life, etc.? So this is going to help you a lot as you're crafting your thesis for the Sneetches. So have this at the center of your consideration. If I was you, I would probably even keep this tab open and open a new tab while you pull up the Sneetches part. Okay, as you're typing in your thesis there. Hey, I don't know. Hold on. I don't know if I told you this, guys, but Canvas actually has an app. So if you have a smartphone or if you have a tablet, pull those up and download the Canvas app so that you can be on top of all of this work, okay? So that you can be on top of how everything's going. The app is really helpful. All right, so we talked about, we talked about this assignment. You guys are gonna like this cartoon. It's a very good one. And like I said, if you wanna write your paper on it, go ahead and do it. I mean, I think it's a really cool one. Okay. Next one is the assignment link for the MLA practice worksheet homework that we had based on our lesson on intertextuality and setting up works cited pages and just MLA in general. So here's the assignment link for that. And for us, as you can see here, it's due on the 19th. So that's going to be, I'm recording this on the 17th. So that's going to be on Tuesday, okay, by 11:59 p.m. There's an assignment link for that. And let's look at the next one. Okay, here's the workshop. Check out the next video in this module for more information about the actual logistics of how we're going to do this, how this is going to work. But you'll notice that I do mention a different date in the video where I'm explaining that. You can just please ignore that and instead bear in mind that these are our particular dates. So be mindful of your own dates, of our own dates for our class, for our particular class, right? Here they are, just like I explained already, the rough draft of at least 2 pages. Remember, there's no such thing as a perfect draft. Just vomit out your ideas, no matter how disjointed or messy or sloppy or all over the place they are. It's a draft, my friends. That's how it works. That's how the writing process works. And all great writers, they go through a drafting process, and that's just how it goes. So submit your draft by Wednesday, by 11:59 p.m. Remember, what was it, the 5th of November? Do you guys know where that's from? But anyways, remember, the Canvas system will not distribute your draft unless you submit this in by its deadline, which is the 20th, by 11:59 p.m. And then 1 minute after, like I said, Thursday the 21st of January by 12 a.m. it's going to distribute those. Okay, again, I'm going to send out an announcement for how to actually collect those drafts that you're going to get. The feedback, you're going to offer it by Friday. And yeah, so check out the other video, guys, where I'm talking about this, of how we're going to go about doing this one. What is the next one? Oh, the next one, guys, is the Entertainment as Political Final Draft. As you can see, that's going to be due January, which is Sunday, the 24th at 11:59 p.m. Our first essay, we're there, guys, we're there. Everything is moving fast, isn't it? That's how it goes. I'm proud of you. Hang in there, okay? That's one of the traits of intercessions, is that things come at you hard and fast, because it is 6 weeks, I think that's it. Yep, the next one is already module 4, which is next week. So my friends, that is what we have. I like to go big again. I'll make this screen big again. So my friends, that is what we have. Check out the other video for info on how we do a workshop. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful week, and I will leave you with this beatbox. In high school, I used to just like walk around beatboxing, and because I play drums, so like I like rhythm and I like beats. So I'll leave you guys with that. All right, have an awesome week. See ya.